Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. And right now, we are seeing some very nice Bitcoin price action. We actually had a huge move right before the weekly close. I think probably in the last like 5 to 3 minutes, this thing pumped like you wouldn't believe. In 3 minutes, the Bitcoin price went from 27,200, very boring weekend overall, and then it just flash pumped all the way to 28,300. And now we are just essentially consolidating right underneath that 200-day moving average, which is still proving to be a significant amount of resistance. And we did not close above the $28,150 previous pivot. But we did get some significant closes. I would call this a very significant close above these previous highs of 27,200. So again, we are getting the first signs that the Bitcoin price could have essentially put in a C wave bottom, or that this C wave has not played out yet and the B wave is still potentially in play and could be extending here towards the upside. We could see the B wave even extend a little bit higher, although right now I'm seeing some pretty big resistances that we are going to be running into, and you wouldn't believe it to look just by looking at it right now, but this is still a bearish weekly pattern, right? So if you look on the weekly pattern right here, you are still putting bearish consolidation inside this big red bar, and you can still, believe it or not, you can still go down. You can still go down to 21,000. Anything can still happen. And right now, Bitcoin has pumped up, and it is coming in line with a potential bounce in the traditional market, because right now the markets are pretty much oversold, getting ready for a potential bounce back up. A lot of people think that we are going to new all-time highs. I would rather say that we could potentially, this is going to be a bounce and a failure, and we're going to head to new lows and tag the 418 area. But again, we'll just I'll do that analysis on hedgeline trading. We'll stick to Bitcoin right now, and you guys probably want to see the new monthly candle. I don't know if I made a video about the monthly candle yet, but right now Bitcoin has printed a new monthly candle. It was looking a little bit more bearish, but obviously after this pump, this has changed the dual band strength index a little bit. And it's still technically bearish, but it's almost neutral at the moment with a 7 and a 4. It was very bearish with a 16 and a -5. And looking at the weekly time frame, you actually have a 16 and a -5, and which is actually looking very good for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is definitely firming up now, especially with that final pump that we got right at the end of the week with the -3 and a 13. Now you actually ended up closing with a green dot on the weekly time frame. So that's very nice to see for our long positions to end up playing out very nicely for the long term. Hopefully Bitcoin has bottomed out, but I have my doubts. Even with this pump, I still have my doubts about this whole thing. But right now, you can see that the red money flow is starting to come back up, which is nice to see, and it is starting to firm up. So Bitcoin is firming up, but we'll give it the benefit of the doubt right now, and we'll have to see if it can come back up. If it can't, then you're going to retest this as major resistance, and then you'll start to come back down and you'll roll over, and you'll probably head lower with the traditional markets as well. All right, and you guys can probably tell the dollar right now is still quite strong. It actually opened up. We'll take a look at it very, very briefly because it's a new quarter and a new monthly time frame as well. So we'll take a look at the new monthly candle. Right now, the DXY is looking very bullish with a -5 and a 16, which means rates are most likely going to go higher. The weekly time frame has not put in any significant top yet, with no red dot confirmation. And taking a look at the daily time frame, we actually have an 11 and a -2. So we might see some consolidation or some more downside. But overall, you have increasing green money flow. So again, the DXY is extremely strong right now, and there's no signs of a top just yet. And I know a lot of people were bearish after this big drop in the dollar, but it ended up being a huge, massive bounce, and the dollar has been going up since then. All right, so let's just keep going here. We'll take a look at some analysis on Bitcoin. So the 4-hour is actually looking very nice. It's actually back into green money flow, and right now it is increasing. So we'll have to see if we get some follow through with this pump, or if we just pumped up and we're going to double top and that's it. We're going to start to come back down. But overall, things are looking very, very good for Bitcoin, even with this pump right now. So things are looking good. And this just goes to show that I'm not always, full on bearish all the time. I was very bearish when we were putting bearish consolidation down here, right? I thought this thing was getting ready to roll over. And again, it actually ended up coming back up. So I'm not right all the time, right? So I'm not looking like a genius right now, right? So that just goes to show you got to be honest, and you got to look at the charts and see what the charts are telling you. But right now, we'll take a look at Wave Edge, and Wave Edge right now has a red cross, right? We got this red cross here, and then we saw some downside, and then we got this pump up towards the upside, and now we have a little bit of a red cross as well on Coinbase. This is actually the Coinbase chart. It's the only one showing a red cross, so we'll have to see if the 12-hour or something like that, some other time frames are showing some red crosses, because if you look at the other exchanges, we don't have any red crosses at the moment, right? So for Bitcoin, the only red cross up here is on the Coinbase chart. But if we get on to some smaller time frames, you probably have a red cross right here on the 1-hour. And then you basically got the same signal on most of the other exchanges as well. So there you go. So you got some confluence going on there if you're looking to do a short-term trade. Other than that, I don't see anything detrimental on Wave Edge, but I also don't see any significant, this is it. This is the bottom signal, and we're gonna go up. But we did get this green cross on the weekly time frame. But overall, I'm pretty much in line with the creator of this indicator, which is Thomas from Team Underground, and he's essentially expecting some more downside in Bitcoin, and so am I. And I think it's going to be a great buying opportunity when that does happen. So I'll be just sitting on the sidelines waiting. I might even get into some more short positions and just wait it out. But overall, I am going to be looking to long BTC at even some lower levels, maybe 20,000 to 21,000. All right, I know those levels seem really unattainable right now, given the big, massive pump that we just got. But if it does start to come down, I mean, that's going to be a pretty massive move. It's going to shake a lot of people out of the market, and it's going to get a lot of people fearful, right? And we can see that right now, gold is just absolutely getting killed right now with the dollar going up, and it's not even over. If you take a look at silver, silver is absolutely getting slaughtered as well. It's down about 1.58%. And I'm going to be getting ready to be buying the dip on silver. I like overall for the long term, I think silver is going to be a great asset to hold over the long haul. So I'll just be signaling to you guys when I'm going to be getting in those positions for those of you who are in the Discord. And then after that, I don't really want to cover anything else other than the crypto here. If you guys wanted to see my other analysis, you can just go in the link in the description and go check out Hedgeline Trading. That's where I do all of my stock market commodities analysis. And let's just zoom out to wrap up the video. We want to zoom out. I actually wanted to show you guys a little bit of something right here. So these red lines that you see right here, so these ones right there, these are actually the halvings for the Bitcoin halvings. And right now we can see that our next Bitcoin halving is going to come right around April 2024, which means we could either rally into the halving, or we could just chop sideways into the halving, or we can dump into the halving, right? There's only 3 scenarios. I don't think Bitcoin's going to go backwards, because that would be impossible. So right now, Bitcoin, you can probably tell we're sort of doing something similar that we did in 2019, right? We came up with a tremendous rally right after dropping so low. And then, we started consolidating, and then people are getting very bullish, getting ready for this massive pump towards the upside, which is still a possibility, although I don't think that that's what's going to happen. And you can see that we printed a very bullish green dot with the red money flow still here, but very bullish dual band strength index numbers. And then the rally halted and it failed, and you got a red dot, and then you got a sharp move towards the downside right before the halving, right? This was like from the peak all the way to the downside, it was like a 36% drop. This doesn't seem like much, right? This from here, from 10,000 all the way down here, it doesn't seem like much, but it was a pretty significant move, right? And from the lows here, you got about a 31% pump. So right now, where we're sitting, right, from the lows to where we're at right now, we're up about 12%. Do I think we're going to do 31%? No, I don't think we're going to do 31%. I think we're going to probably come around a 28,000 now that we've probably taken out these highs and we're going to extend the B wave. I think that we may come up a little bit higher, and you might put in the higher B wave here. And at that point, I think you're going to be getting ready, and you're going to be getting ready for this rally to fail and then head towards the downside right before the halving. And that's going to be probably your last chance to load the boat. So in my opinion, if we didn't get this COVID crash, Bitcoin probably would have went sideways, or maybe even had some more upside, and you would have rallied into 2020, right? Sorry, into the 2020 rally, into the 2020 halving. So that's essentially what I'm thinking right now. I'm probably going to be just holding off. I mean, I already have Bitcoin and cryptos for the long term, so it's not like I'm missing the boat or anything, but I will be looking to accumulate more if we do go lower. And I still expect us to go lower, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen, right? So just take it day by day. Right now, Bitcoin is definitely firming up, looking definitely better, and we'll take it day by day. All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Love you all, and